Welcome to Daily Harmony.
Great to be diving in again.
Today, we're really getting into something powerful, I think. It's about the peace that's actually already inside you,
Exactly. We're looking at Lesson 208 from A Course in Miracles.
which, if you remember, is a review of Lesson 188.
That's the one. The peace of God is shining in me now. Such a simple, but wow, profound statement.
It really is. So think of this deep dive as, well, a reminder, a chance to reconnect with that inner calm.
Yeah, that wellspring of tranquility that's always there, even when life feels like a total whirlwind.
We want to unpack what this inner peace really is. Like, what does it mean?
And why is just acknowledging it so important? That's key.
Right. And then maybe some practical ways to actually tap into it.
Especially when things feel chaotic. How do you find that still point?
Okay, so let's start with the main idea, this inherent divine peace.
Lesson 208 really hammers this home. This peace isn't something you need to find or build outside yourself.
It's already there, part of your core being.
It's intrinsic. Like an inner light, the lesson says, that's just always shining.
It's not something we earn or create.
No, it's more like something we uncover or remember. It's fundamental to who you are.
Which is such a contrast to, the daily grind, the chaos and noise we often focus on outside.
Totally. We get so caught up in the external stuff, the ups and downs. This lesson says, hang on, you have a choice about where you put your focus.
You can focus on the storm outside, or
you can tune into that steady inner radiance, that peace that's already yours.
so acknowledging it, saying that phrase, the peace of God is shining in me now. Why is that specific act so significant?
Well, it's an active redirection of your attention, isn't it?
Redirecting how?
It pulls your focus inward. It reminds you consciously that this divine peace is constantly available, always, no matter what's happening externally.
So the external circumstances don't have to dictate your inner state.
Precisely. That's the freedom in it. Your inner world doesn't have to be a reflection of the outer chaos. You're connecting to something deeper.
A deeper connection to your true self.
To your true self, and the concursive perspective would say to the divine, to God or spirit or whatever term resonates for you. It's about remembering that connection.
Okay. Now, you mentioned peace. Often we think of peace as the absence of noise or like no arguments happening.
Like a ceasefire.
Yeah. But this lesson, it seems to paint a different picture, something more substantial.
It really does. It talks about peace not just as a lack of conflict, but as an active presence. That's a crucial phrase.
Active presence. What does that feel like?
It's not passive stillness. It's more like a vibrant, steady energy, a grounding force, something you can consciously choose to align with, to feel, to be.
So it's there whether things are outwardly calm or totally crazy.
Exactly. It's the constant, the background reality beneath the surface fluctuations. It's that still point we mentioned.
I like the still point. Okay, this sounds great conceptually, but how do we, make it real in our lives? How do we practically connect with this?
Good question. The Course always brings it back to practice. One very direct way is through, meditation or quiet reflection.
Just sitting with the idea.
Pretty much. Taking even just a few minutes. You close your eyes, maybe take a few breaths, and gently repeat the phrase, the peace of God is shining in me now.
And just notice what happens.
Yeah. Notice any shifts, however subtle. Maybe a little softening, a little less mental noise. You're essentially tuning your inner radio to that frequency of peace.
Okay, meditation. What else? For people who maybe find sitting still difficult.
Affirmations throughout the day can be really powerful, too. You don't have to be meditating formally.
Like just repeating the phrase silently.
Or variations of it. You could create your own, like, I carry God's peace within me, or I choose inner peace right now.
Little reminders.
Exactly. Little anchors throughout the day. You say them while you're washing dishes or stuck in traffic or dealing with a difficult email. It helps reinforce that inner connection.
So it's about weaving it into the fabric of the day.
And another really practical tool is using your reactions as cues.
How does that work?
Well, when you notice yourself feeling stressed or anxious or irritated, those feelings can actually be triggers.
Triggers to remember the peace.
Exactly. Instead of just getting swept away by the feeling, you pause. Take a breath. And maybe inwardly say, okay, the peace of God is shining in me now, even with this feeling.
So you're not denying the feeling, but you're remembering something deeper is also true.
Precisely. It's mindfulness in action. You're observing the reaction without being totally consumed by it and gently reminding yourself of that inner resource, that peace. It gives you a choice point.
That makes sense. Using the moments of friction as like little reminders to come back home internally.
Beautifully put, coming back home.
So how does recognizing this piece, practicing these things, help us when, life throws real curveballs, the big challenges?
Well, think of it like building a really strong inner foundation. When
Oh.
you know deep down that this peace is always within you, it doesn't mean challenges disappear.
Right, life still happens.
Life still happens, but your relationship to those challenges can change. This inner peace acts like an anchor or maybe a shock absorber.
So you're less likely to be completely thrown off balance.
Exactly. There's a greater sense of resilience, maybe more ease, more grace in how you navigate things
Yeah.
because you're connected to something stable within yourself.
Something unchanging beneath the changing circumstances.
Yes. It reminds you of your true nature, which the Course would describe as, beings of light and love. It gives you perspective.
You see the challenge, but you also see something bigger. Yourself is bigger than the problem.
That's a great way to put it. You are bigger than the problem because you're connected to that infinite peace. You're accessing that still point within the storm.
Okay, so it really shifts your fundamental sense of self, doesn't it? From being a victim of circumstance
To
to...
being grounded in an inner sanctuary. Absolutely.
Now, for people familiar with A Course in Miracles, how does this lesson 208 fit into the bigger picture? Is it standalone or does it connect to other ideas?
Oh, it connects deeply. It's definitely not isolated. It powerfully reinforces themes that run right through the Course,
Such as?
such as the core idea that your inner state is primary, that your experience reflects your mind, your connection with the divine, rather than just being a result of what happens out there.
The power of the mind to choose its experience.
Yes, exactly. It circles back again and again to the idea that peace is a decision, a choice available to you in every moment because it's inherent. It underscores the cumulative nature of the lessons.
So it's building on previous lessons, reinforcing them.
Absolutely. It's like the Course keeps gently, persistently reminding you, remember this, remember who you are, remember the peace within.
That's a call back to center.
It really is. And importantly, this isn't just for your own benefit, although that's huge. There's a ripple effect.
What do you mean?
Well, when you genuinely connect with and embody that inner peace, it changes your energy, doesn't it?
I suppose so, yeah. You feel different.
And others feel that difference. Think about being that light in the world idea. When you're shining with inner peace, even without saying a word.
You can bring calm into a tense room.
Exactly. You become a stabilizing presence. Your peace radiates outwards. You contribute to the peace of the world simply by cultivating your own.
Being the still point, not just for yourself, but potentially for others too.
Yes, it's a beautiful, powerful consequence of doing this inner work. You become a beacon.
Wow, that adds another layer to it. It's not just personal comfort, it's contribution.
It is. It's a way of serving, just by being anchored in your own peace.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, the main takeaway is this simple yet incredibly deep truth. The peace of God is shining in me now.
Right now. Not someday, not if circumstances change. Now.
So the invitation for you listening is maybe just to carry that phrase with you today. Notice moments where you could consciously remember it.
Consider how acknowledging that inner light might shift your perspective, maybe soften a reaction or just bring a quiet sense of calm, even for a moment.
And remember, it's not about pretending challenges don't exist.
Not at all. It's about finding your anchor, that still point within the storm, so you can navigate whatever comes with more. Well, with more peace.
So maybe something to reflect on. What really stands out for you about this idea of inherent peace, of being a light?
And perhaps what's one tiny thing you could do today, one small shift, to connect with that peace that's already shining within you? Just something to consider.